Well, it looks like we're live. I think I need to increase the brightness over here. Still a little bit dim. Better. Not ideal. Better. I think we're going to deal with that for tonight. Now, I was having a heck of a time trying to get this thing started. No, I don't. I want the actual. There's the link. So let's tell people. We are. Maybe select the window. Boom. Posting it. We already got comments. What's up, guys? Glad to have you. And we got top chat selected. Fan-frickin-tastic. And Silent City, glad to have you back, man. Glad to have you back. I only just got, last September, got re-enabled on YouTube. It's pretty far out, man. The world's getting crazier by the minute. I saw something quite wild yesterday. I saw a well puking up metal. I saw a 30-foot piece of tubing. Must have weighed minimum 500 pounds. Minimum. I saw that get puked up into the air and fly across the lease. I was sitting with the boys. We were shooting the shit. We were waiting for a new job to do. Volume went way low. You know, I'm going to lower the music a little bit. Tell me how that sounds. How do we sound now? But back to the story. We're sitting there shooting the shit. Gnostic Cat, glad to have you. Sound is fine. Perfect. When all of a sudden, a really bad metallic sound rings out. So my first thought, that's a bad sound. I look at my coworkers, and everybody else has a look on their face like they just heard a really bad sound. And then I remember, oh shit, I'm on a well site. Really bad sounds on a well site are really, really bad. So all of us kind of stand up and look behind us to where the sound came from. And they're hovering in the air, about 5 stories in the air. Just 30-foot piece of tubing just flying through the air gracefully. So we start making our way over. And one of the first things I see, once we go around the structures, the sea containers, etc., one of the first things I see is one of the tubing guys with like a big shit-eating grin on his face. You know, like the sort of smile you have on your face when you very nearly just got cooked to death. But thankfully nothing caught fire. You're just covered in gasoline. I mean, not technically gasoline, but it's about as flammable. And that's why I'm like, oh, good, nothing happened. Well, I mean, something happened. I got sent home today because something happened. And nothing's going to be happening there for a little while. Construction? No, oil and gas. Oil and gas. So that was pretty far out. I'll tell you what, later that day, Jesus Christ! Like when you got 500 pounds of steel flying through the air, man, that's a pretty interesting thing. Later in the day, it's like I should have been thinking about where the fire extinguisher was. I mean, nobody was. All of us were like, "What the holy shit? The well is puking up iron. It's puking up tubing." Anyway, that was pretty far out, and well, nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt. That's the main thing. I took it as I should have been more mentally prepped for that, because I think I'm mentally prepped for shit in my sector to go wrong. But I'm not one of the guy firing tubing down the well, so I'm not even thinking about that until bang, 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 tubing's flying up, and the dead weight that we lent them, the pressure gauge, the fancy pressure gauge, we found half of it blown halfway across the site. Am I married or do I have kids? No, I am terminally single. Still working on that. So yeah, that was pretty exciting. And also it happened on the first day of spring. At least the first day of spring here in Canada. It's been absolutely freezing. Freezing and melting, the whole site, the whole lease was nothing but a giant bog of mud. I just picked up some Helly Hansen rubber boots they are quite good. I like them quite a bit. If you're working in mud, I recommend the Helly Hansen steel toes. If you don't need the steel toes, they have a more comfortable non-steel toed version. But no, those boots are pretty good. Oh man, the Wanamingos, they're still hibernating. They might be coming out in a couple weeks, but not yet. We still got some freezing nights ahead. So how the hell are all of y'all doing? Man, there's a lot of people this late at night. Very glad to hear it. Didn't get the confirmation that the site was being shut down until about 10 a.m. I was only a couple of hours from home. Then we had to have a couple of beers for the boys afterwards. They're a good man. That was a good bunch of lads I was working with. Lot of good people in this industry. After all, you're Jewish. Italian and Scottish, not Jewish. But you know, one of the lads, he is also ex-Canadian Forces, like myself, like a fellow reservist, right? We started, man, we were having a really good conversation, just like reliving the glory days, talking about all that stupid army stuff. And the one thing I said to the other guys, like, I just want to emphasize, we're not cool, okay? We're reservists. We're not. It's just a job. Not trying to be cooler than anybody. It's just a job. Any of you guys could do it too. What's interesting about it, though, is that when you're in that job, you're seeing how the sausage is made. You know, I like a first-person shooter as much as any other man. I like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I love all this stuff, but one of the things the other guy brought up, and to a certain degree, we were both testing each other. You know, trust but verify. There's a big issue with stolen valor. I've run into it. He's run into it. So there's a little bit of testing, and we were discussing. And he's like, "Yeah, exactly. Like, what's the difference between the individual and volley fire of the rifle? It's like 400 and 600 meters. Is that right? Yeah, it's 400 and 600. The effective fire range of the C7A1, I believe he was trained on the C7A2, but it's the same rifle. 400 meters individually, 600 in volley. You become very, very aware of the fact that there is no Arnold Schwarzenegger action hero. There is no individual soldier. Soldiers are only useful in volley, in organization, in platoon, in company, with a whole supply system, bringing them ammo to the front lines. It's nice to think about the action hero, the John McClane, the Professor Wolfenstein, B.J. Blazkowicz. That's not really how it runs. It's not really how it runs, is it? The guy was very astute as well. We were having some very, very good back and forth on what it meant to be a constitutional monarchy, peace, order, and good governance versus life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. We both agreed that the red ensign was the proper flag for this country, not that ugly maple leaf. And that things are getting spicy in the world, aren't they? Things are getting spicy out there. Let's check the comments. Oh yeah, man, this is cozy in here. Real wood, artificial fire, very cozy. Looks like a non-grassroots revolt happening in Ireland. Interesting. I haven't been following the details. Nothing ever happens. It does not feel good to be an American right now. Try being a Maple Leaf American. Try being a fake American, an American without the passport. And much lower wages. Feels even worse. And sorry, this is a late night for me. I'm going to be coughing. I'm a bit tired, but we are going to forge ahead. This live stream is inspired by my conversations with my fellow infantry brother. because the game is changing. I noticed something. I noticed something that well, I don't think I'm creating any sort of security threat by mentioning the thing I noticed. In fact, I might be reducing the security threat. Right now in Canada, we have military aircraft patrolling the skies over crucial facilities. They are older military aircraft, so as to not scare the civilians. But they're not Cessnas. I know what a Cessna looks like. I'm not the best at recognizing aircraft. There's a whole course in it I barely passed. Nobody in the infantry is particularly good at it. The master corporals help you cheat. But I am 100% positive. Well, I saw it twice. We have military aircraft patrolling the sky. Watchers. Not jets. They're older models. But the Canadian Air Force is actively patrolling the skies in Canada right now above important facilities. And I'm going to leave it at that. There's a couple of other things I saw that I won't get into that I only noticed because I'm a paranoid lunatic and because I'm ex-military. And I had another army boy there, and it's yeah, that's exactly what it is. Maybe not 100%, maybe only 99%, but yes. Whew, guys, we are at the cusp. Whatever happened to Roosh? Roosh has retreated into monastic life, I believe. He became a monk. I've become an alchemist. I would love to run into that guy sometime again. He is a solid human being. Hey, we got some Welsh in here. Glad to have you. Marcel Mercure says, I don't understand. Is Rouge going to have some temporal punishment for his adultery and promotion of it or not? What do you mean by punishment? If you build a wall, it casts a shadow. Is the shadow a punishment? Or is it a consequence of building the wall? Morality is not a series of rules with prescribed punishments. That's the legal system. And we all know how awful that is. No, morality is an interactive matrix, which every move has a counter move. Everything you do engenders a response. And it just kind of is what it is. And the question for you is, God is watching. What will you place upon his altar? Will you place something holy or something profane? I know, man, not an easy answer to explain. So the Strait of Hormuz. Hormuz? I don't know how to pronounce it. I think we all know what I'm talking about. About 50% of the refined diesel fuel goes through there. Now, it got shut down about a month ago. And the last ships to traverse it are just now arriving at port. Now, most of the oil companies, you know, your gasoline supply companies, most of them keep some reserve. Some of them have been burning through it to stabilize prices. Others haven't. Right now in South Africa, 50% of the farmers can't get nitrogen for their soil. They can't get fertilizer. So various places have between 2 to 6 weeks of reserves to stabilize the market. If by the end of this month there hasn't been a negotiation, then I would strongly recommend stocking up on canned goods. Beans and bullets. That's what I'd recommend. You always need more beans and bullets. Things could be getting spicy. Things could be getting very, very interesting. Or maybe nothing happens. Silent City 90 says, since we're on this topic, one thing I have been struggling with recently with my Catholic faith is having sex with a spouse while avoiding procreation. Seems to stern a rule, although I get where it's coming from. Brother, make your decisions and live with your decisions. There's nothing evil about trying to hold back on producing a child for a little bit because you're stabilizing your finances. Don't dissipate yourself in pointless hedonism. That leads nowhere. There is an ultimate teleology to sex, which is like, what the hell else are you gonna do with your life? Go have some kids, man. And Mark says the next 2 weeks we'll see the market start to tank as all the supply out at sea arrives and no further ships are coming. Exactly. Now, if this gets resolved, there will be new ships coming. There will be stabilization factors in all of it. I'm not saying panic. I'm just saying be aware. Pay attention to the situation, see what's happening, and end of the month, if there's no solution inbound, maybe buy up some extra cans of beans. You might want to have beans rather than currency. Oh, and why do I prefer the red ensign? Because it has history to it. Because it speaks to what Canada is, where Canada came from, and it's a beautiful flag. While the maple leaf is just a modernist abomination, and everything wrong with Canada. The hatred of the soldiers, the identification with socialism as being our identity, all of that begins with the maple leaf. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Yes. Yes. We were having some very good conversations, some very interesting debates, not disagreements, but back and forths. And one of the things I brought up to him, because there's this constant question of manifest or machination. Is this world we find ourselves in, is it just manifest? The COVID-19 epidemic, on the one hand, you got the insurance companies that want to turn everybody into a client, a mandatory client. That's what Obamacare is. It's mandatory health insurance. The vaccines in general are one of their most profitable products. Now, if you can combine that with some sort of health passport, geez, like that's pretty good. And then you got Bill Gates, who wants to buy all the frickin' farmland, who is using the greenwash movement to cover up his farmland purchases. You got a population which is getting increasing levels of anxiety. The mass formation psychosis, Trump derangement syndrome, turning into a ridiculous terror of a virus, a mostly harmless virus. You got the big businesses that would love to shut down the mom and pops that they compete with so that they can scoop up the market. Got distribution platforms like Amazon. You got all these disparate interests manifesting the COVID-19 epidemic. But each of them is also a machination, a small machination. And is there a larger machination about vaccine passports? Machination or manifest? What is the cause of all of this? Disparate interests all come down to two things: money and power. Always follow the money. Here's another question to consider. When there's a couple of sports ball teams playing for the playoff championship, are they cooperating or competing? Are America and Russia competing or cooperating? And the answer is both. The teams are competing for the sports trophy, but they're cooperating as they follow the rules of the sport. The great powers are competing for power and resources on the world stage, but they're cooperating in being the ruling class. Yes, Cosmic Gels gets it. Big energy shifts going on right now. And what happens when the entire game changes? There's an interesting pattern between correlation, I should say, between military technology and the liberty tyranny scale of a society. Defensive systems and expensive weapon systems tend to correlate to tyranny, while the inverse, cheap weapon systems that defeat good defense, equate to liberty. Some examples. So the chariot was extremely expensive military technology. It was very, very expensive to make a chariot. But the chariot was incredibly effective. A charioteer could easily fend off 100 infantry soldiers. Until the Iron Age came along, at which point the charioteer, who had an army of people behind him, was replaced with the Roman centurion, the infantry soldier. With the Iron Age and iron armor, classical armor, breastplate, leather, all of a sudden the individual soldier became the deciding factor, the citizen soldier. And so we went from the tyrannies of the Bronze Age to the relative liberty of the Roman Republic. We saw another inversion during the medieval era, when castle technology, and then the technology of the mounted knight, who, like the charioteer, being a mounted knight is a very, very expensive endeavor. It's not something any foot soldier can take care of. You need to be a noble. And castles were effectively impregnable. The only way that you could deal with a castle was to starve them out, and a siege could take up to a year. And then we got the rifle. God made all men, but Samuel Colt made all men equal. And all of a sudden we have the liberal revolution, the libertarian democracies appearing. All of a sudden the opinion of the common man mattered. There's more nuanced examples. This isn't an essay on this particular theory, but it is a theory that holds quite a bit of weight. Who is that genius electrician, electrical scientist of the early 20th century? Tesla. Tesla was an amazing man. And this, what I'm about to say, is not to detract from his well-deserved and legendary fame. But Tesla was but a man. One of the devices that he was working on in his old age towards the end of his life, he was trying to develop a death ray that could be used defensively to make war obsolete. He thought this would bring peace on Earth. And if he'd succeeded, it would have, but it would have brought tyranny on Earth. Liberty is when the individual man can stand for himself and defend himself against organized forces. Not that he would win against an organized force, but that would be very, very expensive to deal with him. Tyranny and slavery happen when it's impossible to resist, when the centralized military technology is so effective that resistance is futile. And so we're living in a very weird era right now, aren't we? On the one hand, the drone warfare is a level of indiscriminate individuality that we've never dealt with before. Here's a fact I picked up from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, specifically, that the crossbow specifically, because you can get so much power into a crossbow that it can easily penetrate full plate. Arma Diaboli, the weapons of the devil, is what they were called. And there was a serious moral debate about crossbows, which was completely irrelevant to the people making and deploying them. Just a bunch of theologians arguing about it. Because the crossbow destabilized medieval society. Even before we got gunpowder, the crossbow was already doing it. Prior to the crossbow, killing a knight required skill at arms. With the crossbow, any peasant who was a decent shot and a bit lucky could easily kill a knight. The power of the nobility was undermined by the crossbow. And the importance of the nobility was a crucial foundation stone to medieval society. The priesthood, those who think, those who fight, those who work. The priesthood was fully aware that destabilizing the nobility would destabilize the priesthood. But complaining about it did not stop the crossbow. And so now we've got the drone. The drone, which is, right now, it's being piloted out of Washington, D.C. Does that mean Washington, D.C. is part of the battle area? Does that mean Washington, D.C. is a valid military target? I suppose it does. But this is just drone as weapon system of the administration. The problem with the drone is that they only cost about $50. Anybody can get one. Medieval society was freaking out because any dumb peasant could kill a noble. Well, nowadays, anybody could kill anybody. One of my enemies could quite readily deploy a drone to catch me unaware when I'm out of the house. We're talking about rifles whose effective range is anywhere on the planet Earth that has a Wi-Fi signal. Swiss pikeman, cheap, high liberty. Yes, that's a great example. Absolutely, Pinkerton's Ghosts. By the way, guys, check out Pinkerton's Ghosts. He runs a radio drama about a private eye that hunts ghosts and demons. It's a fucking cool radio show. Marcel says there was indeed a moral debate. You didn't really have to face your opponent. Yeah, that's me and the infantry, the kid. He's 26. Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about. Man, I hate landmines. They're dishonorable, but they're a very effective form of warfare, aren't they? Warfare is a dirty business. There is no honor in it. Don't say that. Butterfly ballerina, I'll be fine. I'll live till 97. 96, 97. And maybe I go out on my birthday. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be a nice round number. Easy for the arterial tables. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Indeed says, what's the radio show called? What radio show are we talking about? So I'm going to need some clarification. Let's swap the track. Oh, God, yeah, only the good die young. I'm here for a while. So we have drones, which are they are such a democratized form of combat. And somebody said, I can't find the comment. They said, is democracy good? Well, it's good when you're a peasant. On the other hand, we have AI and the electric eye. One of the points I've made before is that our entire legal system is founded upon a primordial assumption that we never put into words. No harm, no foul. The idea being that if there's no body, what would the Latin be for that? Show me the court. Disculpas? No, that'd be study. Disculpas corpus, study the corpse. What would display be in Latin? I have no idea. But show me the body. Show me the body. Show me the complaint. Somebody needed to complain before there was a crime back in the day. To put it really simply, 20 years ago, if it was 4 in the morning on a Tuesday and you were at a red light and you look left and you look right and there's nobody coming, you just run the red. Who gives a damn? There's no cops, there's no traffic, like nobody gives a damn. These days, there's a red light camera. And since the invention of AI, even worse. What AI is really, really good for is exploring databases. You still need a human operator. But let's say we've got 20 terabytes of video footage to go through. And I want to track you. I want to see where you were, what you were doing 5 years ago. Prior to AI, all of that video footage from Ring cameras, from security cameras, from dash cams, from body cams, all that stuff was pretty harmless prior to AI. But now we're entering the era of show me the man and I will show you the crime. No crime goes unforgiven. Our legal system, we have so many laws on the books. They're there because of a premise that if nobody is pissed off enough to phone the police, if the police are not pissed off enough to get off their asses and stop eating donuts, then whatever crime you committed didn't happen. No harm, no foul. If there's no body, there's no crime. AI turns all of us into criminals. But what is a criminal? Who gives a damn about criminal? What is morality? Morality is nothing but an artifact of the moral, the narrative that we tell ourselves as to what our societies are. Morality is very important to societies, to integrated societies. To the ethnic tribe plus one, the multi-ethnic tribe. That's the thing that cares about morality. The government pretends to care about morality because there needs to be a narrative. Here in Canada, the national anthem went in all our sons' command. Oh, really? Is that the warranty, or is that the advertising slogan? Now, ironically, we're moving to a system that does not care about morality, does not care about your consent, and in fact, Scales Machals, it does not care about your thoughts. It cares about your subscription. Canon printers, the printer company, They are not in the business of selling printers. They're in the business of selling printer ink. And old Ma Bell really doesn't give a damn if you're using your cell phone to sell drugs, so long as you pay your bill on time. Let's rewind back earlier. We're talking about COVID. What was one of the core concepts behind COVID? It was to turn everybody into a patient, to turn vaccines into something mandatory. Out of a depopulation agenda, perhaps there were depopulationists involved in it. But a major motivator, maybe not the top, but one of the major motivators, was that vaccines are profitable. The new system is not about right or wrong. The mythology. Every society has a mythology. Every society has a narrative. The current system does not really care about narratives. They believe in subcultures. Don't upset the gay wedding, and we won't upset the surfer culture. They care about the subscription. A placebo faith based in the central world system. The system that can accommodate all so long as all accommodate the system. The American narrative should have been the moon base, you fucks I'll never forgive. I completely agree. No, this system just cares that you subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. They just want you to like, comment, and subscribe, pay your bills on time. Obamacare was originally Romney Care. It's all about empowering the insurance companies. Humanity has arrived at a point. We used to have dreams about the one ring to rule them all, the one true faith, the religious wars, convert the entire world to Catholicism. It's become abundantly clear that's not going to happen. And in fact, the people that even care about that, the number of high-level reasoners that truly believe in their faith, as opposed to the people that believe in their tribe and equate my tribe with my religion. The ones that truly believe in the religion are so minute and, quite frankly, so ridiculous that not only is it never going to happen, it never could happen. The people that actually care about theology are such frickin' weirdos that nobody would want them in charge anyway. So no, there's not going to be one world religion. And if there ever were, everybody would rebel against it, just for the sake of rebelling. So no, we are going to exist in a reality, in a multipolar reality, where you pay your internet bill on time. Give me 30 seconds. Bathroom break, folks. And we're back. Where were we? So, how many of you remember Walt Bismarck? Walt Bismarck was he was an absolute legend. 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Has it really been so long? You can see the high watermark. He was remixing old Disney songs into alt-right talking points. A couple months ago, I found that he's on Discord and writing very pretentiously and beautifully and extensively. Then I shared one of his articles. And in sheer amazement, it turns out this guy I was a fan of was a fan of my work as well. We did a podcast together. So I've been digging more into his writing about his depraved and degenerate dating experiences in this foul year of our Lord, 2026. And reading what he's written highlights things that I don't want to admit. That while I sit here translating the perfect platonic form of an apple through 5 dimensions, seeing its exterior and interior as it moves back and forth through time, while also contemplating what I would have felt like if I had skipped breakfast yesterday, that there are some people that unironically enjoy the new Star Wars movies. Some people just want to be happy. Some people do psychedelics. And they have a bad trip. Because for the first time in their miserably prosaic existence, they encountered a mirror and saw the wretchedness within. Perhaps they skip the psilocybin and they jump straight to ayahuasca and encounter a 6-dimensional corn demon that convinces them to sell their house, leave their wife, and become a gypsy musician. The poor normie bastards. The normie that unironically enjoys the slop is going to get very offended if you tell them what the hot dog is made out of. And then I had a truly terrifying thought. And I say this in the most serious of jest. What if there are people out there that are smarter than me? I was seeing some pictures of these old Rothschild ruling elite with their melon heads. A back region of the brain that puts my own to shame. A whole simulation network. They're cone heads. How do they perceive the world? How do they perceive the concerns of the common man? Perhaps 1,000 years ago, the king needed his peasants to farm the grain. Are they still required? Are we going through a resource glut? Is it time to cull the herd for its own sake? And maybe is trans ideology the kindest way to go about it? Is a man evil for raising cattle or caring for his beehive? Wouldn't it make more sense to have a laboring class that was smart? Smart enough to figure out problems, but not smart enough to notice when they were being manipulated. If you had one of these vampire brains, how could you not see it? Seriously, think about that. Think about I'm sure you've all met a transparent fool in your life. When we were younger, we probably placed judgment on these transparent fools for being such fools. Good Lord, you like that shitty music? You are an idiot. You simple-minded cretin. But it's not their fault. Nobody faults an actual developmentally delayed for enjoying My Little Pony or Scooby-Doo or whatever. Why do you fault the fan of the Fast and the Furious? What if the ruling elite aren't even hostile? They're just good managers. This is the Lovecraftian horror which has been echoing through my mind for the past 48 hours. I am not so certain that we can confidently declare them evil. And if we don't like their plans, then perhaps we ought to start instituting some better plans of our own. Not plans like Desperate Last Stand. It's very romantic. Two heavily armed men in a bunker facing off against all the forces of the IRS and ATF simultaneously. Very romantic. Also nihilistic and destructive. I'll tell you what I think nihilism is. What destructive nihilism is. It's actually an attempt to manufacture meaning out of sacrifice. One of the interesting points Walt Bismarck made is that the Black Widow archetype it's a very strange male fantasy about a woman who is so agentic that she deploys her agency to destroy a man. It's almost the fantasy of the praying mantis that eats her mate, getting destroyed in the act of orgasm. A woman that would so outthink you, that would think about you enough to outmaneuver you. Much like the Valkyrie, I think that's entirely a male fantasy. Marcel says that woman is just Cluster B. See, Cluster B does not stay up at night writing notebooks full of information about your triggers and how to control you. See, Butterfly Ballerina's like, wait, what? Actual women are a lot simpler than that. In the same way that us men are quite simple. We really just want somebody that thinks we're heroic and likes making food for us. Triclops, glad to have you. The Black Widow is that woman that outthinks you as a man and destroys you by that. The fantasy is to have a woman that analytical, that manipulative. The reality is that manipulative women are really just working on base instincts. And we are the ones that manipulate ourselves. I think he's right about that. I think he's very, very right. There's kind of a reflection with the feminist concept of patriarchy, as if men have this super secret club that we're just oppressing all. No, like literally, we hate our jobs. We're just making the best of it. And we're all trying to make one another look good. Men have a natural camaraderie because we all hate being here. Our jobs suck. And we see a young lad. We see the young lad. We see the 20-year-old lad. We see him doing all the same shit that we used to do. And we're like, oh, buddy, no, sleep this one off. Don't do that. Like, dude, we love you. Calm the fuck down. You're drunker than you think. Sleep this one off. Yeah, we know. You're a man. Like, you've got our respect. Sleep this one off. There's no patriarchy. It's not that men are having fun at work. That's the men hate being at work. Work sucks. Sometimes it's engaging. We make the best of it. We have some good laughs. But work fucking sucks. None of us want to be here. It's like, hey, all you guys are cool. I don't want to fucking be here with you. Go fuck yourselves. Women saw the joviality and thought we were keeping them out of something. No, you don't want to be here. It sucks. We're just laughing because otherwise we'd cry. Triclop says women can't manipulate you if you aren't a fool, but we are all fools. Butterfly says, and let's not forget that they are evil as fuck. Wait, who's evil as fuck? Women know that men are controlled by their base chakras and vice versa. All right, so let's imagine for a second, like when you're dealing with a child that ate all the chocolate chip cookies. They've got chocolate all over their mouth. They've got crumbs on their hands. And you ask them if they ate the cookies, and they say no. When I was looking at those profiles of the Rothschilds, that brain bulge that's upsetting. Is that an irrelevant? Purely arbitrary? I don't think it is. What if it's not maliciousness? You ever spoken to a homeless person? You ever really spoken to an idiot? Do you really consider yourself the same species as that person? Or do you consider that person somewhere in between you and child, in between you and dog? Wait, Butterfly, we need to hear more about your ex. You got to share about this. We want to hear the details. We want to hear the gossip. Yeah, when you deal with a homeless person, your standard homeless person, your standard rap music enjoyer, your standard drug addict, you don't really view them as somebody that can achieve your level of humanity. Yeah, there's a difference in kind. And what I was thinking when I said, what if people are smarter than me? What if the level of cognition that I've achieved in my advanced old age is something that they achieved in their teenage years? This is a dark thought. It's not one I like entertaining. And it's also quite possible, by the way, that they have an advanced simulation structure in their brain for simulating the minds of others, for predicting the minds of others, without having other things that we call intelligent. Creativity and morality are also parts of intelligence. And it's possible they could be quite retarded on these levels. So I'm not exactly raising the white flag. I am suggesting that there are very powerful vampires running things. And before we start screaming about vampires, we should maybe be finding a better way to run things. It's hard not to look at those skulls and think to myself, what are they perceiving? What are they perceiving easily that I only perceive with great difficulty? And that's my horrific thought for the week. Alrighty, that's. Let's do comments. Let's do some back and forth, guys. That's all the original content I have. That's why I wanted to do this live stream, was to say all of that. I hope I provoked some thoughts in all of you. Butterfly Ballerina hates men that drink all the time. I'm joking. I'm joking. Oh, the low budget movie Cube. God damn, Cube was a great movie. The first was the best. I enjoyed all the Cube movies. They were freaking weird, man. They were weird, and they had a good body horror. They were interesting films. Yeah, I guess one of the big things I was thinking was I would kind of like to own an apiary and make mead. I think that'd be really, really cool. And I like bees. I like honeybees. They're pretty neat. They're chill. I like them. If you ran an apiary, oh hell, we got cattle on the farm here. They're not our cattle, but we host them every summer. I like cows. Actually, no, maybe they kind of freak me out, but I don't hate cows. I'm not cruel to cows. Cow farmers are not mean people. They take good care. And then they send them to get bolt gunned. And as opposed to what? What's the alternative? What's the alternative to sending young men to go die in war? It's kind of stereotypical to become a veteran that's angry at the military. What did I even fight for? Well, the paycheck mostly. I did get paid well. What is the better system? It's really easy to be angry about the system, to complain about the injustices. Okay, what's the better system? Oh, Butterfly Balance says her ex was in a bad mood all the time, argued about the stupidest shit. Man, don't be that person. Most people, like the worst people, spend all their time arguing about stupid bullshit. One of the first things I said, like me and the other army guy, we kind of got into like a disagreement about something. And one of the first things I said is like, hey, please don't take this as I'm right, you're wrong. Or like, I insist this must be true. I'm not doing that. Sometimes I passionately say something, but I like the argument. He liked the argument too. It's not about nobody's right. We're bouncing ideas. We're exploring ideas. We're learning things from one another. Ain't nobody got the God's honest truth. Yeah, bad mood, arguing, stupid shit. Fuck, that's a good work. I wish I could have worked with these guys for like 2 more weeks, man. These were cool fucking people. It was like we were all set until the well started puking up metal. Marcel says, I reckon that occasionally you get brilliant people who rise to the top, but their descendants quickly become dumb and incompetent. They think they're amazing. Butterfly says, wait, I mean, he was drunk all the time, not just occasionally, not just situationally. No, I get it, Butterfly. Nobody wants a lout. Don't be a lout. Jiroku says, interesting, I'm not savvy enough on brain structures and comparing perceptions. You know how speech is like a skill in video games? In the real world, speech is not a skill. Simulating the brain of others is the skill that we call speech, but it has far deeper uses than just speech. He was unreasonable. He couldn't speak rationally. He would scream. It is so damn difficult getting people speaking the same lingo. This is why I don't vote. Voting is a pendulum. And it always swings back and forth. You never win the vote. There's no permanent victory to voting. Butterfly says X was a narcissist anyway. Enough about him, he was a bore. Butterfly, how do you dress? What colors do you like? What fashion season are you? I'm a bright winter. Skulls McDowell says a bad boy is attractive because it displays no fear. And the problem is that half the people that display no fear are actually just fucking idiots. They seem fearless because they're retarded. What faction is Butterfly Ballerina? But yes, voting does not matter. That's the... Sorry, I'm revisiting. I had really good conversations with this guy. Actually, like everybody on the crew was cool. We were talking about alchemy and Bigfoot and politicians molesting kids. We were having great fucking conversations. It was fucking cool, man. But what I really liked about the guy that was ex-army, like he was politically motivated to understand. This is a guy that would put his life on the line for Canada if he was called to do it. Who also understood the deeper principles of a republic, constitutional monarchy, whatever. That, like, he hated Carney. I hate Carney. But we can openly state that with more or less, no secret police. He thought deeply about things. Better to be ruled by a bad president than a good tyrant. Well, that's something he'd say. I think he'd agree with that. If he heard this, he would agree with that. Better a bad president than a good tyrant. Whereas these days, I'm more at the point of what's the difference? No, I had some good conversations with that guy. That a lot of people like to play at politics. They like to posture. They like to have opinions on things without ever putting their money on the line. They like to armchair quarterback. You know, it seems to me the people with the worst behaviors, let's say, the ones that make the loudest political opinions, which is a behavior. That's a behavior. The most disruptive people, the most arrogant, the most narcissistic, are the ones that put the least on the line. When you start putting your money where your mouth is, you start becoming a little bit humble. Because when you, in a Marvel movie, you have the undefeated hero. In a courtroom drama, you have the lawyer that never lost the case. In the real world, a lawyer that never lost a case is a lawyer that never took a risk. When you put your money where your mouth is, whether it's signing up, even as a reservist, saying, if the shit hits the fan, I'm going to be one of the guys in the meat grinder. Or a guy that genuinely bets on sports or the stock market, that puts their money where their mouth is. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. What are the rules of this game? Did two-dimensional chess just turn into three-dimensional chess? I dare say it did. Omnicronum Limited 1239 says, what if it was a third party you knew the guys you were voting for personally and it was local? Oh no, a local takeover is great. I mean, a local takeover isn't... You want to be the guys responsible for everything. That's not evil. I think me and my crew could do a better job administering the fire service and maintaining the roads and doing search and rescue than the people already in power. That's never going to be me, by the way. My innate aptitudes are not well suited to that. Have I read All Tomorrows? Yes, and it's more cynical than I'd like, but it's very interesting. Interesting sci-fi work. Oh, dude, what does that mean? What does that mean? Winter, bright winter. My skin tone and eye color and hair color lend themselves to mostly dark and occasionally quite vivid jewel colors. There's a fashion spectrum based upon the seasons, which is your body morphology determines what colors you look good in. I was digging into this recently, and sadly, I mostly figured this out independently. So, like, I was hoping I'd get like a cheat code to look great, but I've already figured out like 90% of it. They must have decided Marxism is best. No, they've decided like credit-based free market. Well, something like that. Selling you printer ink is best. One of the big distinguishing factors between a narcissist and a normal human being, a narcissist needs everything to be about them. Not that they need everything positive to be about them, but they need everything to be about them. All right, guys, 23:39, 40 minutes. I wouldn't say no to super chats, but toss me some good questions to respond to. I want to keep it lively. You know, when it comes to relationships, demanding crybabies. Like, you should be doing fun things together. You should be making the most out of this life. Now, listen. One of the oases, the false promises used to mislead us, is, oh, your life is miserable. Imagine if you divorced your husband and went on a sex vacation, or wife, right? Like the woman goes on a sex vacation to Jamaica, man goes on a sex vacation to Las Vegas. Sex vacations are actually pretty fucking lame. Like once you get your rocks off, you don't really want a sex vacation anymore. It'd be cool as a vacation hiking up a mountain, or looking for Bigfoot, or I don't know, scuba diving and looking at coral reefs, or something. That's pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool to have a partner doing with that, all that shit with you. And then you have sex on top of it. And then some food. And then sleep. Like that's pretty cool. That's pretty fucking cool. Hell, it's pretty cool wearing nice clothes. Put on some nice clothes. Go get some food. Go have some weird sex. Like, that's all pretty cool. Do cool shit. Do interesting shit. Have fun. Support each other. Be good to each other. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Who owns Antifa? If I hadn't spent all my money on diesel and petrol. Man, Scouts McJows, things are so fucking weird right now. Yeah, I've still got this feeling that a lot of people are selecting themselves out of existence. God, I don't know how to put it better than that. Narcs are very envious. Yes, they are very, very envious. Oh, Omni says something interesting. Selecting themselves out of existence, like not imposing their will. Yeah, I think that's part of it. God, really wish I had a better explanation of this. It's an instinct I have. It's a lot of people are not interested in existing anymore. Yeah, listen, I've got a list of movies I want to watch. I kind of prefer to watch them with somebody else and engage in conversations about them, to participate in the movie, to analyze it, where like the slop coming out. The slop is so ridiculous. Oh, Marcel just said, I have a suspicion I'm dealing with two narcissists, and I'm also recognizing those traits in myself. Yes, the best way to get rid of narcissists, not the most effective way, but the one of the best ways, is recognizing those traits in yourself. The more you recognize, listen, we all have narcissistic traits. The ego is a dog that's trying to protect your yard, that barks at anybody that threatens it, but sometimes the ego barks at the mailman. And in that sense, a narcissist is sort of like somebody that has the most violent dog in the neighborhood. Joe Dagger says, a lot of European films have great stories and more developed characters since they can't rely on special effects and big budgets like American films. $4.99. Thank you very much. I think I would be very interested in some recommendations. Feel free to toss them in. part of the reason I watch anime, even though like seriously, like 2/3 of anime is for kids. I mean, it's not that it's bad. It's not bad anime. It's not bad because it's for kids. Just doesn't. I've seen it already. I've seen it with a different outfit. EC, I'm very sorry to hear about the divorce. Oh, God, it's terrible when people can't grow together. I mean, it's not that people don't like you will have other opportunities for love. Keep lift weights. Deal with this problem. Adapt and overcome. Like, there's a future worth living, etc. Like fuck, man, I can't imagine. I've been through business partnerships that blew up. Those were fucking hell. I can only imagine what you're going through, brother. It's fucking terrible. And now you got lawyers involved. Jesus Christ, man! Like it sounds fucking terrible. All right, and okay, and you see it. You see it. Okay. How fucking stupid! That's the. Forget the term narcissist for 5 minutes. Like just these self-involved people. Like they would cut off their nose to spite their face. You know, when I'm having a good work day, a good work crew, it's all people that like where none of us want to be there. The job sucks, but we help each other. And you know, man, the young kid was getting all pissed off today. He's a good kid. He's a good kid, but like I could tell he was getting pissed off. I could tell he was getting like he just kind of feeling like he's being jerked around. You make allowances for people. We work together. We support each other. We help each other. Hey, you need help with that. Yeah, like you look like you could use somebody else to help you carry that. Let me help you do your job. You're good to each other. But some people, it never enters their head. They're just fucking jerks. They're rude. They're egotistically involved. They start fights for no fucking reason. It's like life is already difficult enough. Like I like a good argument, but I'm man. I'll tell you, like, man, I disagree with you on this, but I see where you're coming from. I don't think you're a fucking retard. I think you're wrong, but I don't think you're a retard, right? I got some crazy things I believe in. And it's so fucking sad. It's so fucking sad that you got. It's supposed to be a life partner. Like, good Lord, just somebody to go through all this bullshit with. I don't know, make some kids. Try and raise them a little bit better than you got raised. Argue over, like, do we want white appliances or steel and black appliances? I mean, I'm on the steel and black side of things, but fuck, she wants shiny white. Well, I mean, it's negotiable. And take care of each other because life is difficult, and we're all getting older. Yeah, I really am a believer that most marriages could work if people put in the fucking effort. More or less. All right, Omni just asked a question. I gotta go to the washroom again. I'm sorry, guys. I drank McDonald's coffee on the way back from the job site, so I'm back and forth. All right, enjoy the music for 45 seconds. Omni, I think the question was addressed to me. If it wasn't, I apologize for being a narcissist. I'm reading the comments. I'm reading them quickly, not in depth, to respond to them in a timely manner. But he asked, what is my role in all of this? Why do you do the things that you do? Why are you the person that you are? Which is a very good question. Oh, how would you define your archetype? Well, I have found astrology invaluable in all of this. Which is something I've only been getting. I think astrology is kind of like you know when you're playing an RPG and there's like major set piece events in the RPG, like how you get to the set piece, you can you go this way, you go that way, but then you get there, and then you go to the new map. I kind of think that's what astrology is. Like if you were born, if you're born in year X, then the 2008 housing collapse will affect you Y. There is a bit of destiny written into how you're born. There's some destiny written into your genetics. Anyway, sorry, my role in this: to entertain, challenge, and inform. I've got a real choleric spice to me. There's a part of me that needs to, that just can't stop being spicy, can't stop being edgy. But also informing, thinking, considering, challenging, playing devil's advocate. mentoring through antagonism is something I think I do. My astrological chart is I've got a 5-planet stellium in the 9th house. Like, I'm obsessive philosopher, hoarding and sharing knowledge. When I'm talking to somebody, I'm constantly thinking about what they know. Like what? Well, first, I meet somebody. We have a couple back and forth. What mutual ground do we care about? What mutual, like, what overlap do we have? What bond do we have? What mutuality is there? And then I start thinking, once I get a grasp on them, once I start to suss them out, I'm like, okay. What could I tell them of the things I have figured out? What could I tell them, and how could I tell them this thing I figured out that would be useful for them? Like to put it bluntly, a married man doesn't need to know about picking up chicks. Doesn't care. What can I add? Like, how can I expand their consciousness in a manner that directly provides results for them? Fool is the best archetype. Damn straight it is. The fool exists at every part of the hero's journey. Intacto. Spanish film worth watching. Joe Dagger says, I'm single, but when I look at my married friends... Yeah, man, like, marriage is not a solution to loneliness. I mean, I think it can be. I don't know. Like, man, people screw up romance constantly. Like, and why would you? Well, I guess there's a million different reasons to screw it up, like ingratitude, envy, narcissism, etc. There's so many damn reasons that you screw that up. You know, at the start of the stream, I was asked, am I married? Do I have kids? I do not. I would dearly love to have children. I would dearly love to have a wife. All that said, I've played the game pretty straight. Like, I've been pretty honest in my intentions. I've, done my best. There have been mistakes made, but there have been I only have a few regrets in life. There's been a few things that They weren't obviously mistakes, but I wish I hadn't done. Hard to explain. I think I've lived with integrity, more or less. Device is marriage suicide. You ride motorcycles up and down the Irish coast. Fuck, that must be. I need a new motorcycle, man. Fuck, no, not yet, not yet. I need to do some things with my money. Soon. I need a motorcycle. Oh shit! And you asked what my archetype is. Honestly, man, alchemist. I wanted to be a paladin when I was there. I'm not a paladin. I'm an alchemist. I've been very, very inspired. Mr. Mythos has some great narratives about various alchemists, and that's what I am. That's what I can offer the world. And those were good men. I aspire to be like the alchemists of old. That's why I'm trying to write a grimoire. Trying to figure out what to put in it. It was crazy. I was telling that army kid. I mean, he's 26. He's a kid to me, okay? I was telling the army kid about the grimoire. And explaining, like, yeah, it's like, there's going to be a chapter on astrology. And he said, for a dumb shit like me that doesn't know what's... Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to write. Nothing super fancy and amazing, just something that is good. Steak and potatoes, man. Here's your introduction. How does one find their archetype? I can't remember the Greek term, but it means know thyself. The easiest way to start knowing yourself is the Ocean test. Ocean is the 5 basics of modern psychology: openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. I was going to say negative emotion, but it's the same word. ENTP, or sorry, Myers-Briggs, highly useful. Enneagram, also quite useful. Learn what you are. What's your nature? What's your compulsion? EC2, man, EC2, that's a righteous thing to say. He's gone through divorce and he says, don't be afraid of marriage. I'm glad you're doing that well, man. I'm glad you're doing that well. Dang, dude, you got some good one. Man, babe, I'm all about the one-liners. I'm like Han Solo without the spaceship. How much do you think all of this magic, the strength of our spirit, our current struggle, is tied to our ability to maintain our dignity? There's a concept in European, like, it never really had a name, but it's the opposite of is that. In India, is that is your ability to fuck other people over. Is your ability to use rat-like power over other people. Whereas in Western culture, there's a concept of not shaming your ancestors, of not shaming your bloodline, which is the opposite of Izzat. And so I've been on some job sites with some very good men. I have had some very, very positive work experiences. Guys that I admire, like, I genuinely admire. I've been working with men that are, they're like, they are cool dudes. And if I'm not mistaken, they have shown genuine respect and admiration for me. More than I deserve, probably. At least that's how I feel. I feel very lucky. Like when you meet somebody that's really a really cool person, and they think you're a cool person. Like, man, I'm not even that cool. That feels really good. Like I just keep meeting people that I want to hang out with, except we live on the opposite sides of the province. I've only met like 2 difficult people, and one of the difficult people and me, like, we're friends now. He actually asked if I was free to do a job with him, and I would have, if I was free, I would have said yes, absolutely. The other difficult person, oh, he was young. He'll grow out of it. And in a way, like, honor is I'm just doing my damn job. I'm doing my damn job, looking out for other people, helping them do their jobs. They're helping me do my job. Is that honor? Well, I guess that is what honor is when you get right down to it. So the short answer is yes. Yes, honor matters. When you operate with good vibrations, when you start meeting heroic people. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good place to end things. I believe we ought to be We ought to be living heroic lifestyles. Jinfei says, just randomly came up in my feed. Someone go, hey, thank you. Thank you. I try and be. I try and be a cool dude. Try and admit when I don't know something. I ask lots of questions. Try and talk about what I actually know. Yes, and you should like, comment, and subscribe, obviously. Have I read Carla? Man, do you have any idea how embarrassing it is to admit I have not? No, I have not read Carlyle on hero worship. I'm aware that I ought to have. Yeah, I'll finish off. Well, keep getting comments. All right. Speaking of hero worship, do you want to love Luke Skywalker? Because when you subtract the spaceships, when you subtract the lightsabers, it's a guy whose heroic journey was making peace with his father, and then starting a school to train other Jedis. It's a very humble story. Joe Decker says, did I actually do a podcast with Nick? I mean, I might have. I might have been on a podcast with him. It's a shame so many stormtroopers had to die during the naked. I would caution anybody to be very, very suspicious of anybody that's too popular. Oh, yeah, I was on with Roosh and Lauren Southern. Was Nick there, too? Shit, I forgot. Like, I genuinely don't... I'm not lying. This isn't... Nick Fuentes is so much more popular than me. I'm not flexing. I'm not... Wait. I remember, Roosh invited me on a stream with a bunch of alt-right girls. And I kind of felt afterwards, I don't know, man. I felt like I was just acting like a smiling idiot the whole time. I was kind of embarrassed about it. I even went out and bought a new webcam just to do that thing. And I felt like such an asshat afterwards. Man, toss the link if the link exists. I've made a fool of myself more than a couple of times. Okay? I do not deny it. Hey, maybe I did really good in that interview. Christ, I've been doing this for 20 fucking years, man. I don't remember everything. Send me the link. I'll tweet it out. You guys can tell me whether I did good or poorly during it. Honestly, I'm a lot more integrated. I'm a lot more relaxed than I used to be. Very cozy vibes. And I think Grindface says that. I think that means this stream. And I am feeling cozy as well. Let me get more ice. I have to walk up a flight of stairs. So give me 30. No, give me one. Trad tots on the right. Yeah, that's... Oh my god, Roosh contacted me and asked if I'd back him up on that stream. I said, holy fuck, Roosh wants to talk to me? And so I go out, I buy a webcam for that, and I want to back Roosh. And Roosh wasn't a cunt. I am generally suspicious of girls on the right. That they are attention whoring. Basically. Ladies, back me up on this. You know it's true. But I don't hate girls for attention whoring. Girls gonna do what girls gonna do, man. Appreciate them. When a girl makes you a sandwich, man, give her a kiss. So on the one hand, I'm trying to impress Roosh, and I'm trying to, oh my god, I just felt like such a simp. I just felt like I had a stupid shit-eating grin on my face the whole stream, and it's like, I don't even know if I was useful at all. That's one of the streams I'm most embarrassed about. But share the link. Like, post the link, send it to me. I'll retweet it. Like, I'm not hiding from it. It's just like I didn't want to shit all over the girls. Oh, I'm a manosphere. I hate women. But no, I've thought about that one a lot, and it's like, Jesus, I really think I could have done a better job on that one. I am not seeing the link. Did you send it to? Could you send it to my Twitter? Not hiding from it. I'm just telling you guys the story of it. All right, guys. I see the comments. Let me get more ice. It's going to take 1.5 minutes. We're going to change the music track. Keep things fresh. I'm going to turn the volume up just a little bit. Just a little bit. I know, it sounds basically the same. This is by Starving Vampires. He's not here tonight. He had to go to sleep. Lives on the East Coast. I'll be right back. No, I'm bringing the big cup. We're going to get all the ice. All right, we're back. We are back. I'm going to drop that music volume. We're going back to the live stream comments. Where were we? Sliding the glass sand of time while the sun rises one more time. Yeah, it's Ireland, right? Yeah, that would be about sunrise right now. You know, Roosh used to be. I don't want to say he was like a personal friend. I didn't know him that well. And I have whiskey in the hallway. I need to get my whiskey. This bottle's empty. Yeah, like I don't want to brag like Roosh was some bosom buddy of mine or anything like that. Roosh was a man that was extremely honorable. Here's kind of my definitive memory of him. He had, I don't know, on the Roosh V forum, which was a bit of a nexus for all the alternative thinkers. The idea had come up, what if we had a happy hour, a global happy hour on such and such a date? All the Roosh V, like everybody would, there'd be a bar meetup in the nearest major city. And we'd shake hands, we'd have a few drinks, we'd make friends with each other, we'd network a little bit. And less than a week before it was scheduled to happen, like we'd organize the whole thing. We had everybody, like, I was volunteering for Las Vegas, which is where I was residing at the time. We had people volunteering all over the world, mostly in North America, but like all over the place. Days before it happened, the media started reporting that a rape syndicate was planning to meet in public, and they were deploying extra police officers. And you know, so many people we were all going to go along with it. At the 11th hour, Roosh canceled it. And Roosh said, no. I don't want a single man to go to prison for me. My fame, my clout is not worth the legal freedom of the guys that follow me. That's what I remember Roosh for. He's an honorable cat. Do you think we could effectively break the wills of our enemies? I feel like we don't challenge their spirits directly. We're always fixed on the facts and emotions, but not winning. Who are our enemies? One of the things I think so much about these days is the pendulum. Anytime I start to get worked up politically, that's the pendulum. Always goes left to right. Our side wins, their side wins. Is that actually my side? Or am I just generating energy for the pendulum? What is winning? Better question, what is winning for you? Triggered from the base. I'm starting to get an idea of what winning for me would be. And, when I was younger, honestly, aggressive action was part of it. Military action was a part of it. The older I get, the less I want violence to be a part of it. I'm actually quite grateful to the universe that I did not participate in war. Maybe that's just getting older. My victory condition is owning a 4-story wizard tower somewhere near the Rockies. Definitely a wife. Probably kids. I'd kind of like to own an apiary. If I can do those victory conditions, or something close to that, I'm happy with that. What are your victory conditions? Have you defined them yet? What do you actually want out of this life? When I was a young man, I had the ambition of becoming Prime Minister of Canada at one point. Which, in my younger mind, I viewed as a honorable, ambitious, worthy thing to do. Part of the reason, a small part of my justification for joining the military was that any political leader of Canada ought to have military service. I mean, it seemed pretty fucking obvious to me back in the 90s. It wasn't the main reason I joined the military. I think the main reason is sports ball competition did not satisfy my ambition. But becoming Prime Minister was part of the logic of doing the entire thing. Now, obviously, I'm 44, and I have basically zero participation in the political process, and I've said far too many spicy things on live streams to ever get elected. In the TV series F is for Family, the teenage son has an opportunity to become the next boy band, but to become famous, he has to sell out his music. And he decides not to sell out his music. And through that process learns that his ambition of being a famous musician is ultimately for naught. The only way you become a famous musician is if you sell your soul. So I have revised my victory conditions. Turns out I don't want to be Justin Trudeau. No. I don't want to be a member of a club that would have me as a member. So that's no longer an ambition of mine, but because that was, I can evaluate my progress. I have met the standards, more or less, of what I think somebody that would put themselves forth as prime minister of a country. I think I have more or less done that shit. And the fact that it does not make me a viable political candidate says more about the system than it says about me. And I'm actually pretty okay with me. These days, my desire to understand myself better is far more about the better I understand myself, the better I understand others. And the better I understand others, the better I can give them what I needed when I was that age. I hope that answers the question. I don't know. It's really, really meta. Right, you're asking, could we effectively break the will of our enemies? Who are our enemies? The sort of people I consider enemies are so entrapped by their own will that nothing will break their will but themselves. And the sooner the better. The sooner they get out of this delusion, the sooner they get... They wake up and smell the coffee. Like, this is life. This is where we are. This is the opportunities we have. We are so blessed to be where we are. As bad as things are, they could be so much worse. And yeah, things are not perfect, but what do we do to make things more perfect? Well, you water your plants. You buy some more ammo. You lift weights. You make good conversations and tell jokes with your coworkers. You make the best out of a bad situation. That is how, step by step, we move forward. Jesus, the Scowls McJones, authenticity versus perfection. That's beautifully put. That is beautifully put. It's... Be authentic, be genuine, be good. Be good to people that are good to you. Listen, you've got every right in the defend your ego. Your or rather, your ego should defend you. Your ego is a dog in your yard that barks to protect you. Now, sometimes it barks at the mailman. The mailman's not your enemy. But most of the time, the ego, it's there to take care of you. Let the ego bark. There's a time and a place where you stand up for yourself, where you draw a boundary. And man, drawing a boundary, like it doesn't, there's a way to draw a boundary. It doesn't even hurt the other person. It's actually good for the other person. If you're young, if you're in your 20s, you're probably not going to do it. You're not going to do it right the first time. I'm not saying be a pussy. I'm not saying let people walk all over you. There's a time and a place to make your boundary. Like, no, that was out of line. Please respect me and don't say that again. And if they push it, walk off the job site. You can always walk away. Walking away actually leaves all the bad karma on. They look like more of an asshole. When was my service? 01 to 07, 08. I rounded up to 7 years. It was probably 6.5, but I say 7 years. Listen, guys, we've got a base level of material struggle going on right now. We all need to be making money. We all need to be establishing households. We all need to be not getting murdered by diversity. But we also have far higher struggles going on. GDI must fail. We need to be doing all at the same time. And I think, at least I try to do all levels at the same time. I try and achieve basic competency at my job. I try and achieve mastery at my job. I try and learn as much as I can, leave the job site better for the next shift that comes on. I try and understand my coworkers, figure out what they know, figure out what they don't know. And on the more emotional, intuitive, strategic level, I try and listen to them, hear what they're going through, and offer them what wisdom I have. We need valid building locations. Sorry. Find an industry where intelligence and competence matters and where it's hard work. What beer are you drinking? I am drinking Weiser's whiskey. I know my old friend Aaron Clary made fun of it. I love Weiser's. I enjoy it. What do you think of the Second Sons? Says removed comment. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm aware of them. I haven't joined them. I am not sure what I think. I don't know if they're feds. I don't know if they're legitimate. And if they are legitimate, do they have legs to walk? I do not know. Wish I had a better answer for you. I should probably check them out. I've got a couple of days off. I need to record some videos tomorrow. I've got a couple of videos planned. Then Monday, I got a date. Her and I are going to be looking for occult symbolism in corporate logos in downtown Calgary. We'll see how it goes. She's excited. Then Tuesday, I need to talk to my company and say, yeah, I'm ready to work again. And I need to be working on that grimoire. I've got lots of books I need to read. I don't have any farm obligations just yet. Oh, shoot. Soon enough, I'm going to have to spend a week repairing barbed wire fences. Oh my God. The audio is desynced. We're just going off webcam right now. World is getting crazy, folks. I'm still not sensing an impending disaster. I'm cautioning you to be ready for it. I'm still not sensing one. Take that for what it's worth. Anyway, guys, I've been going 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's a joint. No, it's not. I mean, they're legal here. I don't usually smoke weed. These are butt cigarettes. This already happened. Maybe. Even if there isn't an event, it's time to start buckling down. Buy an extra pair of bootlaces. You smoke weed, come on. Like once or twice a year, somebody offers me some. It's been well over a year since I paid for it. That's my ex-girlfriend smoked weed. Like, dude, I'm not opposed to it. I just don't usually smoke weed. And I live in a place where it's legal, so. Health and brother, I live until 97. 96, 97. Got no animosity if you smoke weed. It's just not my thing. I'm 44. And yeah, like weed actually does have a number of dangerous side effects. I'll stick to tobacco. Oh, cheers. Thank you. Under blue light, you can see the wrinkles by my eyes. I don't quite look 26. You really do earn your face, by the way. I've got a ton of joy wrinkles by my eyes and a ton of sadness wrinkles. I think I earned both of them. Here's an errant thought. Does pursuit of happiness, happiness without sorrow, joy without tragedy, lead the greater misery? Yeah, exactly. Witness protection. Nobody wins the game of life. None of us get out of here alive. Choose a path that's interesting and meaningful. It will be inevitably filled with mistakes. That's okay. Mistakes can be quite a bit of fun sometimes. Just learn from the damn things and don't do the fatal mistakes. Man, I really, really hope we're not entering a 1930s Dust Bowl. We might be. Things might get ugly. Be as smart as you can. Make some fucking money right now. Have a backup plan, but don't doomer. Don't give up. Keep fighting. Things are still pretty good. Go out there and kick some ass. All right. I'm going to close things off. They need to bring on the Super Cities. When did I finally shave bald? I think it was, how old was I? I think I was 29. I looked in the mirror one day, and it's like, holy shit, I look like an old guy trying to look young. It just didn't work anymore, so I shaved it all off. Chuck Norris says, are you talking about famine? 30% of the world's fertilizer comes out the Strait of Hormuz. 30% of the world's... Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm worried about. And I don't think it's going to be famine per se in North America. It's more going to be really fucking expensive food. Lots of major shakeups. It's not going to be nice. Hey, Cain lives in death. Glad to have you, Omni. Never give up and trust in Christ. Butterfly gets it. Don't give up. All defeat is in the mind. Until the point of death, all defeat is in the mind. I'm not dying. I am not going to die for over 50 years. 5 decades. You guys are stuck with me for 5 decades. Things are getting ugly. Things are getting weird. I'm not fucking dying. Neither's my mom. She will die at her allotted hour. I don't know much else about my destiny, but I do know I don't die for 5 decades. And lots of interesting shit is going to happen in those 5 decades. Most of it involving young people that mostly don't want to listen to an old person. So my challenge is trying to find the way to talk to those young people about things I've figured out that are useful. Go find me the hair transplant. No, we're good there. Oh, dude, quit this. Man, smoking doesn't kill people. All the oldest people on the planet smoked. Things are getting spicy. Plan accordingly. What's this? You looking down that lens, 40 years being so fickle immediately doesn't. Not sure what you're saying, brother. You want some advice? If you've got a good girl, if you're in your 20s, you got a good girl, and you got a good career, stick by the money and knock the bitch up. Good girl, and you got a good career, stick by the money and knock the bitch up. That's some good fucking advice. And Butterfly Ballerina thinks that the Captain Picard look is hot. There are worse things in life than losing your hair. It's all right, guys. It's okay. And we're going 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Unless if I get a fucking fantastic super chat or something that keeps me going. Yes, I'm angling for money. I am having a blast, but I'm getting tired. I don't know if the stream is as spicy as it once was. Chuck Norris says, it's the hyper-atomization of our people that really gets me down. Yeah. Feels like the extended family society has been vaporized. Brother, I feel you. So the young lad, who's like, he's 26. He's not that young. He's young to me. The young lad, he and I were talking about how much the retreat from Afghanistan upset us. And at one point I pointed to I was a 4-man crew. There were 4 of us. I said, if this was Canada, I'd be okay with losing a war for this right here. Sometimes you lose a war. Whatever. But this is not Canada. You guys are the minority. I got zero fucking interest in losing any fucking body from the Canadian forces for whatever the fuck Canada is these days. Fash, thank you for the like. Thank you very much, sir. It's like those World War II vets in Britain. Give me something worth dying for. Give me something worth my nephews dying for. The economic prosperity of Indian and African migrants is not something worth dying for. And okay, to go back to Chuck Norris, hyper-atomization. I never met any of these guys before. I worked with them 4 days. 4 days before the weld started puking up iron. I'm a weird fucking guy. I read tarot cards. I study astrology. And these dudes didn't think I was some sort of faggot for all. We wound up. It's like, I was telling them this is what alchemy's all about. It. They didn't think it was stupid and weird. They thought, hey, that's kind of neat. Maybe I'll incorporate that. I had some good fucking conversations with these guys. So maybe the atomization is that our countries have been flooded with foreigners and foreign narratives. There's an idea. Maybe you got more brothers than you realize. Maybe more people are into weird shit than you think. Okay, what is? When you walk down the road, you see 40 years away already exists. It's already real. It's finite. Being fickle right now seems vapid. You know, brother, you spend the first part of your life trying to impress women. You spend the second part of your life trying to impress men. You spend the third part of your life trying to impress yourself. Hey, maybe there's a fourth part where you try and impress God. Build something impossible, says Scowls McJowl. Yeah, build something impossible. Exactly who knows why they are here? Part of the game is not knowing why we're here. I think part of the reason we are here is to colonize. We are the initial expeditionary force to colonize this universe into holiness. Have we not? Have we not turned the brute animal world of rapine and murder into something a bit more civilized, meaningful, and beautiful? Do we not love our cattle? And do we not play better games with them than the wolves did? I am baptized Catholic, though I'm far more Pythagorean these days. Oh yeah, Africa is a completely different hominid from us. Just because we can interbreed does not mean we're the same species. Don't try, just flow. Don't try, just flow. Guys, God bless all of you. Stay frosty out there. Keep flowing. Raise your level of consciousness. By the way, that's not an empty phrase. It has a distinct scientific meaning. Raise it so you are more effective, so you produce more income, so you have greater power over reality itself. Carpe futurum, tenet traditum, solve et coagula. Butterfly, your comments are as lovely as your eyelashes. Good night, folks. Aurini out. If I can turn this off.